Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/divorce, where OP's cheating ex-wife is now going crazy because he's moving on. Let's begin. My married coworker wanted me to sleep with her. She already kissed me at work. What do I do after she and I discuss the situation? Posted by a throwaway Reddit account.
Let me start by saying yes, I'm an idiot. And yes, I'm dense. But I really need some advice. I moved to a new location at work a few years ago. I had just broken up with my fiancée because she cheated after 4 years and married the guy a few months after we broke up. So I was in a pretty shitty headspace. I made a connection with one of the women on the sales team, and I was one of her primary service people. Whatever customers she sold or did business, I did her installs and repairs. We gelled pretty well and got along. She was a nice woman with a husband and some kids. We had already built some rapport talking about issues with work, her boss, and the customers. She told me about some of her issues with her husband and their families and some of personal issues she was having. I figured she just wanted someone to talk to, so I listened. Then she started making comments that I should do my EOD paperwork near her, so I didn't have to be alone and we could talk, which a few times she would ask me compatibly questions. Then compared me to her husband. One night, I was working alone in the upstairs office after my first day back from vacation. She came running up all giddy about something. She told me about some things that happened and asked about my vacation. She said she would like to stay in touch away from work because we were friends. I initially didn't see an issue, so we traded numbers. Then, she lurched up and kissed me. She left blushing like a teenager, and I was stunned. Now things have gotten out of hand. I thought I just let things go and not acknowledge it, she'd take the hint. I know, I should have said something. She's been a little obsessive since then. She greets me at the door when I come in. She has made a big deal about me not answering her texts since I have nothing going on. She's tried to leave when I do, to walk out into the parking lot together. She made up an emergency that she needed me to come over to her house on our off day to help with something in my skill set. I didn't pick up on it. I thought she needed help. So I go over, and I'm trying to fix what she's talking about, and she comes back out in just her bra and panties and said her husband and kids aren't home, which saved by the bell. The garage door started opening, and she darted away. Her husband comes in, asks about what the issue is, and she comes back out in her normal clothes and acts like nothing just happened. I said I needed a part, and it's easy. I wrote it down and said he can just plug and play with the part. I was just a deer in the headlights, and I didn't know what to do or say otherwise, so I left. What do I do? Also, I'm just curious if this can be answered. Does she want an affair in general, or just an affair with me? By the way, my coworker knew I had recently been cheated on and was struggling, so I'm kinda shocked she did this. Now for OP's update. My previous post has more details about what happened if you need to read it. Only other post. I had a conversation with my coworker after an awkward visit to her house where she appeared in her bra and panties and told me her family wasn't home, which was a few weeks after she kissed me at work. I told her I didn't want to wreck her marriage. I was just recently cheated on, and this is just triggering all the hard feelings about that, and I didn't want to be like my ex. She said her marriage was basically for show and for the kids, which they literally go to events together, so that was odd to me. She admitted that she married him because she got pregnant. They wound up having 2 more kids, but she's miserable. Her husband's family hates her. Her stepdaughter despises her. I guess there was some dark time. Her husband was a raging alcoholic before they had another kid. This is very consistent from what my buddy and colleague told me. He said he's known her 8 years. She has never talked about her husband, only her kids. He suspected they stayed together because she got pregnant. He mentioned she began talking about me more than her kids or her husband, and she was getting agitated if I didn't answer her or I didn't spend a lot of time near her. She already had tried to do our compatibility and compare me to her husband. She also brought up, I listen and understand her better before she pursued a physical affair, but it's becoming out of control. She kissed me at work, always tried to catch me in the parking lot or get us alone. She is getting jealous if I'm talking to other females, clients, or coworkers. My female friends had taken notice and made comments. She is possessive and jealous, and they are getting funky vibes from her without knowing what's going on. A few clients gave funny looks when she's reacted to seeing me coming in for the day. I stopped in to grab something before a few days off, and I was trying to be quick, and she texted me, "Were you here?" and didn't come say hi to me. I didn't know how to process all the information she gave to me and what I received. This is overwhelming to me. I'm still hurt from my last relationship, and it's just setting off so many things in my brain, and I can't make sense of anything. I saw her today. She literally went running from where she was and skidded to a halt in front of me and was smiling super silly and just amped. She was so excited to talk to me. It had only been 2 days since we addressed what happened at her house, and I said I needed a few days to process the information. Now what? Edit, I didn't sleep with her at any point.
Every single person trying to cheat is in a terrible marriage. Think with your head, OP. You are getting sexually harassed and it's starting to make your work environment hostile. This shit show could hurt your work, your reputation, the perception other people have of you. Like, let's be real here. Is this married 34-year-old mother of two really worth it? If you're really not enjoying all of the attention she's giving you, then draw some boundaries. Create as much distance as possible and then go to HR. And now for today's second story. Am I a monster?
Monster? Broly is not a monster. Broly is the devil.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
My ex says karma will come to get me. Posted by Reddit user Rhythm of the Night.
I stupidly got married to my wife, who was 26 at the time, at the age of 18. I was young, dumb, and in love. I knew nothing about the real world. I went straight from living with mommy and daddy to moving in with and marrying her. Little did I know she was cheating on me the entire time, and I only found out after the I do's. It ruined our entire marriage from that day. We had 1 good year, and the rest were years of me trying to get over the resentment and bitterness. 11 years and 3 kids later, I'm now 29, and we're getting divorced. 11 years. An entire decade. My entire adulthood was with this woman. I loved her with everything I had in me, but she continued to hurt me time and time again throughout our marriage, despite the fact that I stayed after finding out her indiscretions. I feel guilty that I'm breaking up our family. She didn't want divorce, but it's something I needed to do for me. I have no idea what life is going to look like as an adult without her. I have no idea how to be a single dad. I got primary custody, but I know I can't stay married to her and be a faithful, upstanding husband at the same time. I'm thankful for all the experiences I had with her. She taught me a lot about how to be an adult. I often miss her these days, but I know this is something I have to do. I should have never made such a big decision at such a young age. I should have annulled the marriage as soon as I found out about her infidelity. I shouldn't have had kids with her. I have so many regrets. If only I could turn back the hands of time. If only I were a little bit older and more mature when I met her, I would have seen her red flags from a mile away. I truly believe no one should make such a big commitment like marriage before the age of 25 at the earliest. 18 was too young, and now I'm divorced with 3 kids to raise at only 29. If I could go back, I would have never married her. I would have focused on myself and not been in a rush to get the wife, house, kids, and dog. Now for OP's first update. If you want to know my story, you can go through my old posts, but basically I left my ex after not being able to get over old infidelity, amongst other things. Well, our anniversary was last week. On what would have been our anniversary, she decided to post our wedding pictures with the caption announcing that it was our final anniversary and that there were a lot of good times and basically a cheers to new beginnings. The problem I have with this post is that it makes it look like I up and left her for no reason. It was also totally random, and I hadn't even told my people about what's going on yet. I've been trying to pick up the pieces of my shattered life and been keeping to myself. I did not publicly blast or shame her. I haven't even removed her off my page yet. I've just been inactive. Then all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up out of nowhere, with people asking why she posted that. All our mutual friends are texting me, calling me, DMing me asking if I'm okay, and what about the kids, yada yada. It literally tanked all the progress I made with my mental health. I plan to tell my people later on when I had the chance to get a grip on my feelings, and she just goes and busts open the door and lets everyone in based on her narrative. She's the same person who would condemn others for running to social media. And if that's not enough, she couldn't just post it on her page. She had to tag me too? She's entitled to speak her truth, but it's so weird and manipulative the way she announced the divorce. It was like a poor me, I'm the victim. He left me and took the kids, but cheers to new beginnings type of post. All I've ever done is look out for her. All I've ever done is care for her, even in this divorce. I let her keep the house. I took the kids primarily, and even though she only pays child support, I was still even going to let her claim the kids on her taxes to help her out because she's a very high earner in a high tax bracket. And she still takes every single liberty to squash my feelings, my mental health, and only serve herself. I honestly can't handle the emotional stress of my life anymore. I have 3 kids, and I'm starting to wonder if I can handle it anymore. I felt my reasons for divorce were valid, but now everyone is painting me out to be the bad guy, because I left for her infidelities that were long ago and technically before marriage. I didn't find out until after we were married. I hate my life. I hate myself. And honestly, I don't even know what I'm looking for here. I guess a place to vent. I seriously don't know why she had to broadcast the divorce publicly like that and tag me in it and make herself seem like the victim here. I'm the one who is a primary single parent to 3 kids now. She lives in a totally different state, in the same nice house in a nice neighborhood, making well into the 6 figures, and I'm cramming it in a small apartment and sinking financially. I'm the one whose entire life is flipped upside down. I'm the one who dries the kids' tears at night. And now I have the whole world in my DMs asking what happened and why I left her. I'm just ready to give up. I hate her. Thanks for reading if you made it this far. And now, for OP's second update. So if you've been following my story, you know I found out 1 year into my marriage that my wife cheated and had numerous affairs before we got married. I stayed, regretfully. Things kept happening in the marriage, but 2023 was the final straw, and I decided to pull the plug. Well, during that year, I met an amazing girl who was also going through divorce at the time. It started as friends, and she was a source of comfort for me. Then it got physical. I need to highlight that I met this girl after I told my wife I was done with her shitty decisions and I wanted a divorce. My wife found out about the girl when she hacked my cloud storage illegally and saw an intimate video of me and the girl and slandered me for it. She downloaded it and threatened me with it, called me a cheater, every curse word in the book, basically the devil. Till this day, she refuses to delete the video. I know I was technically wrong because the divorce was not finalized yet, but damn, it felt good to have revenge. I found out about her cheating in the exact same way, discovering her computer backup where she had multiple videos of her with different men in our bed. So the full circle of that was enjoyable, I'm not gonna lie. But as she put it, her cheats were before marriage, so technically not a reason to divorce. I felt guilty seeing her hurt, and I started beating myself up, second-guessing the divorce, almost about to beg her to try fixing things for the kids, but then I came to my senses and doubled down, continuing the divorce process. She wanted me to sign a post-nuptial agreement in order for her to try fixing things. In my emotional state, I almost agreed to it, but I snapped out of it, and thankfully I did. Divorce will be officially finalized in a few days. I've already moved myself and the kids away to our home state near family. I've been in contact with the other girl, and I've been enjoying that, but my ex-wife is so angry about it. She's obsessively searching the girl's info, trying to tell me all I am is a side piece to the girl and she hopes it fails, trying to make me jealous by telling me she'll start sleeping around when the divorce is final. And because she's the breadwinner, she had to split her retirement, pay child support, and she tells me I'm evil for doing this to her. I mean, I've taken a hit financially just as she did, but if she didn't want divorce, she would have been a better partner. I didn't just wake up and decide to throw my marriage away and become a single parent on a whim. She still sees no wrong in anything she's done and thinks she was an A-plus wife, and I'm the devil and karma will come back to get me. Whatever. Here's the thing, guys. I was a great husband. She used to sing my praises all the way up until I told her I wanted a divorce. She's done numerous fucked up things throughout this marriage, even after I stayed when I found out about her infidelities and I got tired. I met the other girl by chance, and I made a choice that was focused on me for once. I don't feel bad about meeting someone who has held my hand throughout all of this divorce stuff and has been a great source of support for me. My ex-wife gaslit me through every bad thing she's done and told me it's not that bad or not worth divorce. And I caused her to lose herself, but perpetuating her guilt for cheating in the beginning. I finally feel validated and I'm moving on, and my ex-wife is tarnishing my character and trying to make me hate myself. She loves to say she cheated before marriage and I cheated during marriage, so I'm the one in the wrong. I'm the fucked up monster who left her out of nowhere for another woman. It's just not true. I need to know, am I really the monster here? My ex is doing everything she can to destroy my mental health. Am I the fucked up one here? I technically did get revenge by cheating back, and I don't feel bad about it.
No, OP, you did not cheat on her. The relationship was already over when you started dating another woman. Sure, I agree that you should have waited until after the divorce, but that doesn't change the fact that you started dating after ending the relationship first and starting the divorce process. On the other hand, your ex-wife was cheating all throughout what should have been a committed relationship. It doesn't matter that you weren't married yet, you two were still together. If you continue to care about the opinions of your enemies, you will never be free. Go gray rock and block her on everything. Instead, use a parenting app for all the communication regarding your children. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.